Market update here on the 15th. I'm just going to give you my observations. In the video I did earlier, I said if QQQ breaks 472, then it could be a third wave if it breaks the parallel line. You can see here, it doesn't have to break the parallel line. It's kind of a guideline for where I would say it's an impulse move. And this is basically hit the outside of the parallel line. So it's very possible this is a wave 3 now. It's way past the 1.61 fib. I actually say it probably is a wave 3. So this is exactly what I said in the video, is the ABC move can be invalidated if this keeps on going higher, breaks 472, and that's exactly what's happened. We hit the outside of the parallel line. We'll see if we get a pullback there. If it finishes above 472 and above the 50 at 473, if it finishes above that the next 3 hours, there's a good chance it's going to go straight to 480 and fill this gap right here, and then I'd say that's the third wave. And then you're probably going to get a pullback, maybe back here, retest the 50, and then a fifth wave that could go all the way up here to 495. So you can see how quickly this changed just off today's action. Like, it looked like perfect setup for an ABC move pullback, and now all of a sudden I'm saying there's a chance the third wave could go all the way to 480. If it finishes below 473, then that'd be a little bit more bearish, and I would say there's still a chance that it's an ABC move with a very extended C wave. So we'll see. Can it finish above the 50 or below the 50? But of course, if it finishes above the 50 and then goes straight to 480, then I'm saying it's 100%. It's got to be a wave 3, looking for a small pullback, and then probably a fifth wave up here to this box. I've said that the whole impulse move is finished. This doesn't necessarily have to be the next move higher for an impulse move. This can just still be an A wave. We pull back into the election, and then we have a blow off top into 2025. That's what I've been saying for a while. And this would set it up pretty much perfectly, because this would get it up close to all-time highs, pull back, and then when the C wave actually happens, they could pump this all the way up to 550, maybe even higher since the last pump, maybe even up to 600 for the last pump. So it's setting up as potentially an A wave, and that would take out, I'm sorry, this would end up being the A wave of the overall B wave. So this would be the A wave down. This would be the B wave overall into 2025, and then we would get the crazy move down. So we'll see if it can finish above the 50 DMA. Again, I think this is the fifth wave overall, being complete right here. And yeah, we'll see what happens going into the end of the day. Another thing I noticed today is NVIDIA also hit into the box I've been talking about at 121. It's always crazy when I make predictions and then I myself can't even follow them. It's really, I get really annoyed when I call it perfectly and then I am too chicken and I take profit early, or I don't even do the move. So I should have taken this one fully, because it dropped 33% and then it gained 33% in a week, basically 10 days. Filled this gap right here. So this is pretty insane. It has earnings next week. If they have good earnings, then watch this go to new all-time highs and make a 50% gain in less than a month. That would be absolutely insane. But it has all the makings of that being possible. When you break it down like I did, then it makes it sound insane. But then you look at the retracements, it's only between the 6.1 and 7.8 fib. And usually that's where that's kind of the golden area where you want to be. So here you'd want to be shorting into supply, 0.61, 0.78 fib, good short. But if it keeps on going and breaks through this, watch out. Again, I'll be watching QQQ and I'll be watching NVIDIA pretty closely. Those are the two leaders. I mean, NVIDIA is the leader, but those two, we're going to see how they interact with each other. Tesla is, in my opinion, Tesla is in a ABC move. That's what I see. There are a few different possibilities, but if you go down here on like the lower time frames, this to me looks like the A wave is right here, and then you get A, B, C, and then you get A, B, C here, and then you get the 5-wave move down here for a running flat. So I have A, B right there. And so that means I'd be looking for somewhere between 215 and maybe 218. This takes it to about the 1.61 fib there. If you do it from the top here, takes it all the way up to 218.58. Is it possible to go all the way to the parallel line? Yeah, it'd be a little bit past the 1.61 fib. That'd be at 222. So we'll see how this goes from here. It made a pretty big move. It looks like a fourth wave to me. So we'll see how that interacts with QQQ as well. The VIX finally started spiking, and we weren't really getting a pullback on QQQ yet. But now we are a little bit. Let's see if it finishes above the 50 or not. And then SPY. So SPY, I've always said this is going to be a fourth wave. It was just a question of if it's going to go all the way down here to the weekly demand zone right away, or if we're going to get an ABC move. And this is looking now, in my opinion, is looking pretty impulsive. Let's see in the parallel lines again. And it broke it. So that gives me more confidence that QQQ is probably in a 5-wave move too. This broke it right here. So it broke above it. I would say it's probably about finished. Get rid of this. So I'm looking at these both pretty much as an impulse move now. This is probably an impulse move, and honestly, I said this is a possibility, but I said it was a slight possibility, and it looks like it is probably a fourth wave. Because this is an impulse move, that means that who knows, maybe the third wave will keep on going. I'm not going on the smaller time frames, but that means we could get something like this. We'll see. I would say it's probably due for a pullback, but you can also get extensions too. So we'll see how this goes. Maybe we get something like this, and we double top, and then we pull back, because that's what QQQ is going to do, in my opinion. And then we get, after the election, maybe we get something like this. So I would expect pullback, another move higher on SPY. It's actually not the right time to start shorting yet, unless you're going to be in and out for a fourth wave. I would say the fourth wave probably going to come back here to like 544. If you just look at, if it is topped out, 544 would be the spot I'd be looking at. Gap fill. Yeah, 544, 545. So I can see that happening here in the next, maybe even tomorrow. I mean, we've gone up so much in the last couple of days, a 1% pullback would not be that much. And then they probably pump it into the end of August. This took 5 days, so maybe the end of August we see end of August we see 565 for a double top, and then pullback time. I would look for a pullback after that to 520 to 530. So that's probably what's going to happen at this point. 520, 530, and then let's get an idea of where this 5-wave move can go. So 600 for the third wave. Could be looking at like 650 to 700. Not even kidding. Let's see, 600 here, pull back to 581, add on the first wave, and you get so 650. And I've been saying 650 for a while, 600, 650, 700, something like that. So this is likely the first wave of the final move higher based on the length of everything. Yeah. So 550, 545, 565, 520, 530, and then huge move higher. So they've been buying a ton of puts, and I was like, they've been buying them for a while. Who knows why? Why they didn't wait till right now, but they bought a bunch of puts. Let's see what happens. I think that I'm going to leave it at that for now. That's the update. It looks like these are going to turn into impulse moves now. What does that mean for like Tesla though? This might be, there's a few different possibilities, but based on where we're at, if this is going to go only 3% higher, Tesla is probably going to go higher too. And the 0.5 fib is sitting at 222. So if the market's going to go 3% higher, I think there's a chance that this hits 222, and then like I've been saying for a while, it ends up doing this when the market sells off. Maybe down here to like 155 potentially. And then it's like one of the main gainers after that. So when the market pulls back into the election, and then for the third wave, Tesla just takes off. I don't know. Those are my thoughts right now. And we'll see what happens. So I would probably expect a pullback here, maybe starting tomorrow, maybe into early next week, and then probably a pump into the end of the month. And then probably going to sell off in September. So that's it for me. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe for more updates. Catch you in the next video.